All right, Larry Kruger from the Pig and the Pickle Crew Show with a little Golden State Warrior video. Well, the Warriors have selected in round one of the NBA draft, and it is a local boy made good, Brandin Podziemski from Santa Clara, who played for Herb Sendek. This kid is fun to watch. If nothing else, Warrior fans are going to love watching this guy. You know, a little bit like, they compare him NBADraft.net to Matthew Dellavedova. I see a little Dante DiVincenzo in his game. Plays with a lot of flash. 6'5", combo guard, 6'5", about 200 pounds, 20 years old, has great court vision. This guy led the WCC in double doubles. He had 13 double doubles. He was the co-player of the year in the WCC. Really interesting story. He was buried on the bench at Illinois. And this last year, he transfers over to Santa Clara, partially because Jalen Williams had success at Santa Clara, and he had a great year. 19.9 points a game, shot 44% on threes. The real stat that jumps out is almost 9 rebounds per game. 8.8 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game. Really looked good in Chicago. Led the WCC in rebounding. How many combo guards do you see lead the league or lead their conference in rebounding? But he did. He's a real good passer. He got an invitation to the green room at the NBA draft just in the last few days, and that was probably a pretty good indication that the NBA people really liked him. 39-inch vertical. So he's a much better athlete than you think. And when you think of the rebounding, it definitely makes you think of DiVincenzo. He's really good off the dribble, and he's the third Santa Clara player in the history of the draft to be drafted. He's very left-handed. He's going to need to work on being, a two-handed player. There's no question that he needs work on his right hand, but he's really an exciting player and a smart player, high basketball IQ, and a guy who I think is going to be really fun to watch. He's a combo guard. He's got a pure shooting stroke, a lot of intangibles, very confident. Said he wanted to play against Steph. Now he gets a chance to play with Steph and Chris Paul. And, he's a left-handed shooter, excellent shooting stroke, and he'll knock him down from the perimeter. Is he more of a one or more of a two? Well, a lot of people think he's more of a two guard, but he definitely has court vision, and he definitely has passing skills. He's not the fastest athlete, so there are going to be speedy guards that are going to be tough for him to stay in front of. I see him as a rotational player, though, who can play right away. Definitely a creative passer. The court vision stands out. The guy can really see the floor, and he knows how to play. He knows how to play the game. We heard Mike Dunleavy say we want guys who have basketball skill and know how to play the game, and this guy does. He's got handle. He has the passing ability of a point guard. He just doesn't have the elite quickness that you see from most point guards. He's a mature kid. He's an intelligent kid. He's driven. His father said he came from a military background, but he transferred. He became the big fish in the small pond at Santa Clara. He kind of got lost in the shuffle at Illinois, but that 8.8 rebounds per game is like ridiculous number for a guard. And the guy jumps. The guy's got great hops. So took 2.5 threes per game and shot 44% as a sophomore. So the guy's really an elite shooter, really good ball handler. Will hit you with the crossover behind the back. He can do a little step back game and create space on the pull up. What I really love too is his offensive arsenal includes the floater game. It's very advanced. He's got the Euro step in his bag. Really interesting player. Really good at driving and dishing. Shares the basketball. This guy was well coached by Sendek at Santa Clara, and a lot of upside there. So, obviously the Warriors like this player a lot, and there were a lot of good players on the board. I mean, they could have had any number of different prospects if they had wanted them. Trace Jackson Davis was there. Leonard Miller was there. Ben Shepherd was there. Olivier Maxence Prosper, who they call Omax Prosper. He was on the board. So there were some good players there for sure. Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, was still available. and they even saw some players drop to them. Cam Whitmore, the freshman from Villanova, who's about 6'7", 240. A lot of people thought he was going in the lottery, and he was still on the board. So instead, the Warriors go with the Santa Clara combo guard. Um, a lot of good things to like about him. Bill Duffy, by the way, from BDA Sports in Walnut Creek, is his agent, and Bill has assured me that we will get Brandin on our show this week. So I'm really excited about this pick. I did watch all the scrimmages in Chicago in the pre-draft camp, and this kid really looked good. But there's more game here than I think, than most people think. He's going to be a guy who's going to have to spend some time developing his right hand. He's going to have to get a little stronger. But I like him as a 1 or a 2. He's either a big point guard at 6'5", or and I'll say this, he's not the showman that Jason Williams was in Sacramento, white chocolate, but there's a flair and a flash to this kid's game that I think he dialed it down in college, and I think he might be really, really a fan favorite. Very entertaining with the ball in his hands, and as I said before, he really knows how to play. So a couple things really, really stand out. One, he kind of got lost in the shuffle on the bench at Illinois and then transfers to Santa Clara. And man, what a year he had. When you can shoot 44% from three, you got a pretty good stroke. And almost 9 rebounds a game shows that, you really have that knack. Rebounding is one of those things that does translate from level to level. So if you're a great rebounder, you're most likely going to continue being a great rebounder, whether it's the high school level, the college level, or the pro level. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go in the trees in the NBA lane and pull 10 boards a game, but when you see 8.8 rebounds per game, that tells you he's got a tremendous knack. When you lead the conference in rebounding as a point guard / 2 guard, that really that really is an indicator that you've got a great skill there. So a lot of flair, a lot of flash. He needs some work on his right hand for sure. There are better athletes. There are guys that jump higher, and there are guys that have more vertical. But there's a lot to like here. And the fact that he got invited just in the last couple of days to the green room kind of speaks to how the thinking was about this player around the NBA. So, the one thing is that, you want guys who know how to play the game, but then at the same time, you also want guys who have an NBA athleticism to him or to them. And this guy's got a 39-inch vertical and, plays with a lot of flair, and can make other people better. The whole Warrior system is about playing, with body movement, ball movement, playing well off the ball. He's going to play some 1, he's going to play some 2, but I think he's a guy that's going to find his way into Steve Kerr's rotation as a rookie, and it would not surprise me if he became a real nice player. Santa Clara has done a nice job, and Sendek's done a nice job at developing some of these young players the last couple of years. Now, I think he's probably more of a point than a 2, but there are people out there that will say, you know what, he's got the ability to play both. So he went to high school at St. John's Northwestern Academies, which I guess is a military institute. He's from Greenfield, Wisconsin, and he's only 20 years old. So, 20 going on 21. So it's just, really a lot to like. The passing, the intangibles, the ball handling. I think he's NBA ready. The shooting ability. There's leadership ability here. For a point guard, he's got real good size. So just a lot to like about Podziemski, if I'm pronouncing that right. But man, his Santa Clara highlights are impressive to watch, to say the least. All right, hope you enjoyed our Warrior video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show, and thanks to all of you for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.